Epics here. Today, we're going to be taking a look at all the leaks we have for Twisted 1.21 at the moment. And believe me, there's a lot we're going to be going over, so here we go. We received our first leak on August 13th of 2023. In this, we get to see a quick little look at a remaster for the Forester. Our next leak, I'm actually going to skip, and we'll talk about why in a second here, but let's continue on for now. Our next leak is of DAO 3, actually, which we don't know if it'll be different in terms of gameplay from the DAO 6, but we'll have to see when it drops. Our next leak is a quick little sneak peek of the Ford F-150, not too much to say here. After that, we also get a small little look at a revamp for the 1500 Dodge Ram. After that, we get our first look at the revamped doghouse. The doghouse has deserved a revamp for such a long time, so I'm glad it's finally getting one in this update. So rolling back to the leak I skipped, this is actually why, and to sum it up, Fonzarelli essentially left the development team, but Dominator 1 and 2 are still getting revamps, they're just being done by other people now. Along with that, he's also working on the OST, which I think I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, but yeah, he's going to be making an OST for Twisted. There is a chance that that's outdated, however, but I'm not completely sure. Speaking of the Dominator 1, this is also our first Dom 1 leak. After that, we get a pretty big leak showing 3 different people in a Discord call working on 3 different vehicles. It's all vehicles we already knew about, which is DAO 3, Dominator 1 revamp, and a Doghouse revamp. After that, we get another look of DAO 3, which appears to be finished behind the Christmas tree. After that, we get to see a pretty cool comparison picture between the old and new doghouse. I think this really just encapsulates how much detail has really gone into perfecting these vehicles. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that they reference the incident.
Vale, le preguntamos así, mira, hay dinero y sobre todo material.
I now just realized I've also been out of order, so there's actually a pretty big leak I have to show. And I honestly don't think words can really encapsulate just how cool this is to have this kind of stuff in Twisted now. Next, we have another Dom 1 leak. I don't really know, not much else to really add here. And then we get our first look at another Tiff 2 revamp, but we'll get into why this isn't exactly just a revamp in a little bit. Next, we have another Dom 1 leak, which I think it's basically a picture from between the armor and the actual vehicle itself. Pretty cool to see nonetheless. Next, we get another Tiff 2 leak, but what's interesting about this, and now I'm going to bring it up, that how it isn't just a revamp. This is actually 2023 Tiff 2. And now, with that being said, we get into the fun part, variations. What I mean by variations is essentially that with all these iconic vehicles, they changed quite a lot throughout the years. For example, from our next leak here, you see multiple different versions of Doghouse. And here, this next photo just shows what year each version of Doghouse comes from. The next leak shows some new probes, the Samaras probes, or also known as the Turtle probes. Pretty cool to see new probe types being added to the game now. Next, we have a leak that shows the big red button in Dominator 1. Now, it's not confirmed that Dominator 1's probe launches will be in 1.21, but it would be pretty cool to see it come to life. Now, the next leak actually shows off a new system that will help performance quite a bit, so I'm not too mad about that. Basically, what's going on with this clip is it's showing a new rendering system. When you get close to something, it will pop up, and when you go farther away, it'll disappear. And I think this will help with performance quite a bit. I just realized I went out of order again, so we're going back to take a look at a Doghouse leak, which is showing Tofu working on new Doghouse animations. I also forgot to mention a Tiff 2 leak as well, so here's a look at that.
We're storm chasing.
Oh yeah.
Storm chasing. We do pretty badly. We're gonna shave our heads so that we have better luck.
Now that we're back on track, here's another Dom 1 leak. After that, there's a leak of some new sirens that we'll see in the game. I'm gonna skip a few leaks ahead now because some of it was kind of schizo posting, so... Anyways, in our next leak, we get to see Dom 1 in a pretty cool foggy environment. We then get to see another probe, the Toto probe. I think seeing these new probes will definitely bring quite a lot of variety to the game, and even though it might not differ much gameplay-wise, it still is cool to have different types of probes. After that, we get to see another leak of Dom 1, and we get to see its teeth this time actually. Pretty cool. Right after that, we get a leak of basically the same ankle. I think this is some joke between the two, but it's for DAO 3. Looks pretty cool, even if it's in this funny little angle. Next, we get to see a pretty cool angle from behind the deployment levers in Tiff 2. Next, there's another leak of Tiff 2, but this is actually a different Tiff 2. This is 2009 Tiff 2. Then, from the same person, we get to see another interior shot, and we actually get a look at a new IMAX model. Next up is actually a teaser for Dom 2. We actually don't know much else about Dom 2 other than this little teaser for it by using the original vehicle it bases itself on. Next, we get a Tiff 2 leak that's just a downward angle looking up at basically just the side of Tiff 2. After that, we get a leak of what looks like the finished 2023 Tiff 2 at night. And then after this, we get to see a similar picture, but this time with 2009 Tiff 2, and it looks finished. Not sure though. And then our next leak is a really pixely photo of both what looks to be the completed 2023 Tiff 2 and the completed Dom 1 revamp. And then finally, to end off our main leaks, we have one last leak from BSP for 2023 Tiff 2. Lastly, I just want to go over some smaller, more miscellaneous type leaks. These are leaks that just weren't sent into the leaks channel in Twisted's Discord and were instead shown on Twitter or shown in some other channel on the Discord. First up of these is a look at some new wind physics that they're going to be using for 1.21. Another small little leak is that the DAO radars will actually be able to be angled now. The next leaks show the new skybox that they're using. I'm pretty sure it's just the regular Roblox skybox, like the more advanced one, but it does look a lot better than the clouds that we have in game right now. And one last one, this is not completely confirmed for 1.21, but it is confirmed for future updates, and that is probe animations. Anyways, that's essentially everything we know about 1.21 up to this point, and all I can say is that I'm excited, and that also, apparently, there's a lot more that we don't know about this update. This update's going to be a lot more massive than it was originally planned. I mean, it was supposed to release back in fall last year, but first off, there was the 1.20 fix delays, where they had to send out like 4 different patches. And then once they did that, they wanted to expand on what this update was actually going to do. This update was originally, if I'm correct, was originally going to be an audio revamp and some more vehicle revamps, and that was it. But now it's this huge update, and we don't even know the half of it, apparently. So all I can say is, be hyped, be ready. This is going to be awesome. Before I end this video, I just want to say thank you to Merc and Kuna for helping me make this video. They helped me fact check some stuff and also help find some of the miscellaneous leaks for me. Especially Kunahic. He's a contributor and he knows a lot about his vehicles, so having him help me, fact check myself really did help. Anyways, that's it for me. I just wanted to make something in between whenever I do my next video, which is probably going to be whenever 1.21 releases. I don't really have much else planned for 1.20 unless I have like an amazing chase. So yeah, see you later. I'm probably going to go to sleep or something. I don't know.